Gucci's Cruise 2027 show didn't just land in New York. It electrified Times Square and turned the city's most chaotic intersection into a runway. Demna chose the epicenter of American consumerism as his stage, a place where identity is constantly performed and reinvented, making it an apt setting for a house built on contradiction. The spectacle began before the first look appeared. At 8:30 p.m., 50 digital billboards flickered into a synchronized Gucci takeover. Sunsets, snowy peaks, horses, dreamlike gardens, all spliced with absurd ads for imaginary Gucci products. It was Demna's favorite kind of provocation, advertising as ambient noise, beauty interrupted by commerce. But the real transformation was atmospheric. With the screens firing in unison, Times Square shifted from tourist trap to cyber city, a neon canyon with Blade Runner energy. Models emerged from this digital glow with smoky, shadow-dragged eyes, their faces carrying a noir futurist intensity that made them look like characters wandering through a neon-lit dystopia. Beneath the spectacle, Cruise 2027 had a clear purpose. Resort collections are built for movement, for the woman who lives between cities, climates, and identities. She needs pieces that travel well, adapt easily, and hold their relevance from airport lounge to gallery opening. Demna's answer was GucciCore, a recalibration of Gucci's everyday vocabulary. Trench coats, pencil skirts, tailored jackets, trousers with lived-in ease. After years of aesthetic whiplash, Gucci had lost its baseline wardrobe. Cruise 2027 rebuilt it with intention. There were moments where Demna's instincts aligned beautifully with Gucci's emotional core: the military weight red peacoat, the razor-sharp pencil skirt paired with a slouchy paisley shirt, the flared suit that nodded to Tom Ford's era. These pieces weren't just runway gestures. They were clothes that could genuinely live in a resort wardrobe, shifting from city to celebration with ease. But the collection also circled familiar territory. Oversized tailoring, studded awkwardness, elevated basics with subtle distortions, signatures that have defined Demna's language for over a decade. In Times Square, surrounded by screens reflecting the runway back onto itself, the repetition felt more pronounced. New York rewards reinvention, not recognition. And Gucci thrives when it leans into glamour, eroticism, excess, and contradiction. Cruise 2027 touched those notes, but didn't always sustain them. The cast, however, was a triumph. Demna populated the runway with people who felt like actual New Yorkers: Jean Greenberg in a hand-painted Flora coat, Rory Jevis in chevron shearling, Cindy Crawford closing the show in a black feather gown, Paris Hilton in a printed shirt dress, Tom Brady in head-to-toe black leather. It was a hall of mirrors. The city reflected through Gucci, and Gucci reflected across 50 screens towering above the crowd. The glamour arrived late, but when it did, it was unmistakably Gucci. High-shine dresses, glittering surfaces, silhouettes built for women who claim rooms rather than enter them. These closing looks carried the emotional richness the collection needed more consistently, and they spoke directly to the resort customer's desire for pieces that can shift from practical to spectacular. Cruise 2027 ultimately felt like a collection in transition. Demna is still searching for the intersection between his instincts and Gucci's emotional DNA. The ideas are present. The craft is undeniable. What feels less crystallized is the spark that transforms a collection from competent to compelling. New York is a city built on self-invention. Gucci is a house built on contradiction. Resort is the season built for the woman who lives in motion. Cruise 2027 touched all three truths, even if it didn't fully resolve them. And perhaps that's the point. This wasn't a final statement, but a recalibration, a reset. A reminder that reinvention takes time, even in Times Square, where everything moves at the speed of spectacle and the skyline glows like a futuristic dream.